Thanks so much for joining us at 10. I'm Mark McPherson. School resource officers will be returning to Verona High School next year. The Board of Education voted unanimously in their meeting tonight to greenlight the SRO contract. WMTV's Tabitha Bland went to that meeting. And Tabitha, they say this conversation has been ongoing since 2020, but is back in focus after the school safety threats in Mount Horeb and Abundant Life Christian School.
That's right, Mark. The first police school liaison position at VAHS was actually implemented back in 1998. But in 2020, the city of Verona and VASD were unable to continue the agreement with Verona PD. So last week, Common Council approved bringing back the SRO partnership, which was finalized with that vote tonight.
This is something that's been ongoing and in development.
Monday's unanimous vote, yes, will instate a school resource officer at VAHS for next school year.
I don't feel at all our district is being reactionary, but really proactive in bringing this extra layer back into our building.
Board President Jennifer Murphy says this position is a partnership.
I feel confident as a board member of all of the lead-in that's gone to this vote this evening in terms of the collaboration.
We already respond to the school for calls for service. I mean, in 2025, we've already had 50 calls for service in the school.
Verona Police Chief David Dresser says having an officer on site is beneficial in navigating these calls alongside the school's security team.
Discipline will absolutely remain with the school district. My officers will have nothing to do with discipline. And in fact, we don't want this to be an enforcement position.
Ultimately fostering the goal of healthy relationships with students.
Just having that familiar face will be helpful and will help mitigate issues.
As for cost, the position is cost shared and full-time. So while the SRO is staffed, 80% of the costs fall on the district, an estimated $65,000 to $75,000 a year. The other 20% is the responsibility of the city.
We've been able to work with our leadership partners in the business office to have the funding to be able to back this up. We have a very fiscally responsible school board and leadership that make this really a very easy budget move to be able to support the safety of our students.
Now that the vote has passed, Chief Dresser says it's time to start looking for the right fit.
We are looking for somebody who is approachable, has de-escalation skills, and that the school also, they have a stake in this, and so they will also be part of the process on selecting who that officer is.
The contract presented tonight says the SRO term will begin on July 1st of 2025 and will be in place for 1 year. Live in the studio, Tabitha Bland, WMTV 15 News.
Tabitha, thank you. The contract also says the school resource officer will not be responsible for school discipline and will work with VAHS administration and security to triage incidents as they happen. Well, MMSD removed their school resource officers back in 2020 after a vote from its school board. At the time, protesters in Madison said the presence of officers at schools had a negative effect on students of color. And in Milwaukee, a judge held the city in contempt for not following a court's deadline to put SROs in Milwaukee public schools. The city has required by law to have them back in school by January of last year. The city has another court hearing by the 15th to show proof to a judge officers have been going through SRO training.